Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Let me start by asking you something. How many times have you looked at your spare change and thought, meh, just a bunch of quarters? Well, what if I told you that one of those quarters could be worth millions of dollars? Yes, millions. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1965 no-mint mark Washington quarter. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's get hunting. Let's rewind to 1965 for a sec. It was a time of bell-bottoms, rock and roll, and a US coin shortage. Yep, true story. People were hoarding silver coins left and right because of their rising value, and the US Mint had to do something drastic. That's when they decided to swap out silver for a copper-nickel blend. But here's the twist. Some 1965 quarters might still have been struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964. Imagine finding one of those bad boys in your old piggy bank. Now, here's the kicker. If you've got a 1965 quarter and it feels a little heavier than usual, or it just sounds different when you drop it on a hard surface, you might be holding a silver planchet error coin. These coins can fetch ridiculous sums of money. We're talking 6 or even 7 figures at auction. Let me tell you about this guy named Mike. He's a buddy of mine who got into coin collecting as a hobby. One day, he's sorting through a jar of old change when he spots a 1965 quarter that just didn't look right. After some research and a visit to a coin expert, turns out, it was struck on a silver planchet. Mike sold that quarter for over $10,000. That's right, a single quarter paid for his family's vacation to Hawaii. And the kicker? He almost spent it on a vending machine soda. Can you believe that? Okay, so how do you know if your 1965 quarter is the jackpot? First, check the edges. If you see that coppery stripe, you know, the one that's in every regular quarter, then sorry, it's not silver. But if it's solid and silver-colored all the way through, you might be onto something. Next, weigh it. A regular 1965 quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If yours is closer to 6.25 grams, you might have struck gold, or, well, silver, and let's not forget the no mint mark part. In 1965, the US Mint didn't add mint marks to quarters, so if yours doesn't have one, don't panic, that's normal. The real treasure is in the material, not the mark. Now, if you think you've got a winner, please, don't just toss it into your coin jar and call it a day. Get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Trust me, this step can make all the difference when it comes to proving your coin's value to potential buyers. Speaking of buyers, the market for rare coins is hotter than ever. Collectors are willing to shell out big bucks for unique finds like the 1965 silver quarter. So, whether you're hitting up local flea markets, scouring online auctions, or just raiding grandma's coin stash, keep your eyes peeled. You never know where treasure might be hiding. Before we wrap up, let's circle back to the big question. Could a 1965 no-mint mark Washington quarter really make you a millionaire? Well, if it's one of those rare silver planchet errors, the answer is, absolutely. Even if it doesn't quite hit the $1 million mark, it could still put a serious dent in your mortgage or fund a dream vacation. Not too shabby for 25 cents, right? Alright, folks, now it's your turn. Go check those coin jars, dig through the couch cushions, and raid the cup holders in your car. Who knows? Your next big payday could be hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you learned something new or just enjoyed hanging out with me today, hit that subscribe button and join our community of treasure hunters. I'll be back with more tips on spotting valuable coins and turning spare change into serious cash. See you next time, and happy hunting. Have you ever flipped through your pocket change and thought, what if I'm sitting on a gold mine? Well, hold on to your quarters because today, we're talking about the 1971 Washington quarter with no mint mark, a coin that could turn your spare change into serious cha-ching. Yes, folks, this ordinary-looking coin might be worth millions. You heard me right, millions. So, before you toss that loose change into your coffee fund, you might want to pay attention. Let's break it down. First off, what's the deal with the no mint mark? In 1971, quarters minted in Philadelphia didn't carry a mint mark. At a glance, it's just another quarter, but here's where it gets spicy. Certain 1971 quarters were struck with errors, and collectors love errors. We're talking double dies, off-center strikes, and other fascinating quirks. Here's a quick story for you. My buddy, Jim, a regular guy who swears his hobbies include watching paint dry, found one of these quarters while cleaning out his couch. Yes, his couch. Turns out, it wasn't just a snack trap but a treasure chest. He sent the coin to a professional grading service, and bam! That little silver hero was appraised at 6 figures. 6 figures. Jim's couch now has a fan club. So, what makes these coins so valuable? It's all about rarity and condition. Coins graded at the highest level, mint state 65 or above, can fetch jaw-dropping amounts. A flawless 1971 no mint mark quarter with a double die error recently sold for over $1 million at auction. That's life-changing money from a 25-cent piece. Imagine explaining that to your bank teller. Now, before you raid your piggy bank, let me give you some tips. First, look for signs of wear and tear. A heavily circulated coin is less likely to be worth millions, but don't let that stop you from checking. Second, invest in a magnifying glass. Errors like double dies are hard to spot with the naked eye. Third, if you find something promising, consider sending it to a professional coin grading service. Trust me, it's worth the small fee to confirm your find. And let's not forget about fakes. The coin world has its fair share of counterfeiters, so if a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. Stick to reputable auction houses and certified dealers to avoid any scams. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your loose change, dive into your couch cushions, or maybe even raid grandma's old coin jar. That 1971 no mint mark Washington quarter could be hiding in plain sight, waiting to change your life. Just imagine the possibilities: a dream vacation, a new car, or, heck, maybe even early retirement. If this video gave you even a glimmer of hope or a good laugh, hit that like button and smash that subscribe button for more coin collecting tips and money-making strategies. I've got plenty more stories, advice, and insider info coming your way. And hey, don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. You never know who might be sitting on a fortune. Alright, let's talk about something that could actually change your life, like quit your day job kind of change. Have you ever looked at a quarter and thought, this little coin is worth, what? 25 cents? Well, not today. Because if you have a 1988 Washington quarter, you might be holding on to something worth millions. Yes, I said millions with an M. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and why this quarter might just be your golden ticket. So, what makes the 1988 Washington quarter so special? Let's break it down. First off, the P mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. Sounds ordinary, right? Wrong. This coin is anything but ordinary. Some of these 1988 quarters were struck with an error so rare, it's become the unicorn of coins. And no, I'm not talking about a coin that grants wishes, although, at this point, it might as well. Now, the error we're looking at is all about the die. In layman's terms, the die is the thing that stamps the design onto the coin. Sometimes, the die gets a little, let's say, confused. In this case, it created what collectors call a transitional error. Basically, the coin was struck using a design or metal composition from a different year. This little mistake can make your 25-cent coin worth a jaw-dropping amount of money. Here's how to spot one. Flip that quarter over and take a good look at the details. Pay attention to George Washington's hair, the eagle on the reverse side, and even the rim of the coin. Are there any weird lines, doubling, or smudges that look out of place? Those are your clues. And if you're thinking, I don't know what I'm looking for, don't worry. I'll drop some links in the description to images and examples so you can compare. And let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I found myself digging through a jar of change. It was one of those lazy Sunday afternoons, and I was avoiding doing anything productive, you know the kind. Anyway, I found this quarter that looked odd. The rim was thicker on one side, and George's face looked like he'd just run into a wall. Turns out, it was a minor error coin. Not a 1988p, but it still sold for $150. Moral of the story? Check your change. Seriously, do it right now. Pause this video if you have to. Now, let's talk about the big bucks. Why is the 1988p worth so much? Well, it's all about supply and demand. Error coins are rare by nature, and collectors go absolutely bananas over them. Think of it like baseball cards or rare sneakers. The rarer it is, the more people are willing to pay. And when you add the historical value of a Washington quarter into the mix, you've got a recipe for $1 million coin. Here's the kicker: one of these 1988p era quarters was recently sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Imagine that. Someone's loose change just turned into a small fortune. Can you even wrap your head around that? I mean, talk about the ultimate upgrade from the vending machine to the mansion. So, what's the takeaway here? Don't underestimate the power of pocket change. That jingling in your car's cup holder might just be worth a whole lot more than you think. Start checking your coins, and who knows? You might just hit the jackpot. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about how to spot valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be sharing more tips, tricks, and insider secrets to help you uncover treasures hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you find a 1988p quarter or any other cool coin, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your quarters always be priceless. Or should I say, future millionaires? Did you know a simple quarter from 1991 could be your golden ticket to a life-changing payday? Yeah, I'm talking about the 1991p Washington quarter. It might just be the unassuming coin sitting in your couch cushions or jingling in your pocket right now. So stick around, because today, we're diving deep into the story of this coin and why collectors are willing to pay a fortune for it. And yes, I'm talking millions of dollars. Let's crack this treasure chest wide open. Alright, before we get to the juicy details, let me share a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Mike, loves hitting up garage sales. One day, he bought a dusty old jar of coins for $5. Turns out, in that jar was a 1991p quarter that wasn't just any quarter. It was a rare one, the kind of coin that makes collectors lose sleep. Mike sold that coin for thousands of dollars. Thousands. And the best part? He had no idea until he did a little research. So let's make sure you don't miss out like Mike almost did. Now, what makes the 1991p quarter so special? Great question. First off, the P mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. While that doesn't sound all that exciting, here's the kicker: there are specific errors and unique features that make certain 1991p quarters extremely valuable. For example, some of these coins were struck on the wrong planchet, a fancy term for the metal disc used to make the coin. Others might have double die errors or off-center strikes. These errors aren't just flaws, they're gold mines for collectors. So how do you know if you've got one of these jackpot quarters? Grab a magnifying glass or even your phone camera. Look closely at George Washington's profile. Is there doubling on the lettering or his face? That's a double die error. Check the edges of the coin. Is the strike misaligned? And then there's the weight. Some rare errors involve coins struck on planchets meant for other denominations, which changes the weight. So if you've got a scale at home, weigh it. A normal quarter weighs 5.67 grams. Anything more or less could mean big bucks. Now, let's talk numbers, because I know that's why you're here. The current market value for rare 1991p quarters can go up to $1 million at auctions. That's right, one coin, $1 million. Even if your coin isn't a top-tier rarity, it could still fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and error type. So the next time you're sorting through spare change, don't just think, pizza money. You could be holding a piece of numismatic history. Alright, let's sprinkle in a little humor because I know all this talk about errors and mint marks can get a little nerdy. Imagine explaining to your friends, yeah, I'm a millionaire because I inspected George Washington's nose for 5 hours. It sounds ridiculous, but hey, that's the magic of coin collecting. Before we wrap this up, let me give you one pro tip: always keep a stash of coins from your everyday transactions. You never know when one of them might turn out to be a hidden gem. And if you're serious about this, consider getting a coin magnifier and a reference guide. They're like your treasure map and spyglass for this numismatic adventure. So there you have it, folks. The 1991 P. Washington quarter isn't just spare change. It's a potential jackpot hiding in plain sight. Now, I've got a question for you. When was the last time you checked your piggy bank? Maybe it's time to give it a second look. Well, if you've got a 1995 D. Washington quarter in your collection, hold on to your seat, because this little coin could be worth a lot more than you think. We're talking about potential millions of dollars. I know, sounds like a crazy headline, right? But stick with me, I'm about to break down why this coin could actually make you a pretty penny, no pun intended. So, grab your magnifying glass, get comfortable, and let's dive into the world of the 1995 D. Washington $quarter coin. Alright, so first things first. What makes the 1995 D. Washington quarter so special? I mean, it's just a quarter, right? Well, here's the kicker: it's not just any quarter. Some of these quarters, yes, the ones from 1995 with a D mint mark, were struck with a rare error, and it's that error that can send their value skyrocketing. Now, I know what you might be thinking: okay, but how rare could this be? I'm pretty sure I have a handful of these coins somewhere in my spare change jar. Well, here's where things get interesting. The 1995 D. Washington quarter could potentially be worth millions because of an incredible error where some of these coins were misstruck. We're talking about the D over D error, where the mint mark shows up twice, stacked on top of each other, making it a super rare find. Picture this: you go to your local coin dealer, or you're just sorting through your stash of loose change, and you spot one of these bad boys. If it has that double D mint mark error, you've just found yourself a treasure worth a whole lot more than your average pocket change. I know what you're thinking: is this for real? Trust me, I had the same reaction when I first learned about it. I remember one time, I was cleaning out some old coin books and found a few quarters from 1995. I thought, not much here, just some old quarters. Then I took a closer look, and bam! I had one with that double D mint mark. I couldn't believe it. That one coin was worth way more than I paid for it back in the day. I'm telling you, it was like finding a gold mine in the most unexpected place. Now, to put this into perspective, a 1995 D. Washington quarter with that error could fetch anywhere from hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on its condition. But the ones that really make headlines? Those that make it to auction and break the $1 million mark. Seriously. It's not every day that a simple quarter turns into a potential $1 million ticket, but with the right error, it can happen. So, what should you do with this info now? Well, if you think you found one of these rare, valuable 1995 D quarters, or if you're just now planning to go dig through your coin jar with a magnifying glass, you better act fast. The market for rare coins like these is hot, and finding one could literally change your financial future. Who knew quarters could be this exciting, right? If you're thinking, wait, I need more coin tips like this, you're in luck. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more insider info on coins that could be worth way more than you think. I've got plenty more where this came from, and trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next big coin find. Remember, it's not just about having the coins, it's about knowing what you've got and how to make the most of it. Stay tuned for more, and happy hunting. Let's see if you've got a future millionaire in your pocket. Alright, now hit subscribe and keep those coin searches going. Who knows? Your next coin could be the one that puts you on the map. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.